Feeling each vertebrae. And then bring the hands all the way up for extended mountain pose. Inhale the hands to heart center. Nice. Inhale, drop the hands to reach them all the way up. Let them kiss above you. And exhale the hands to heart center. One more time. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up. And exhale, rain the fingers down, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the knees here nice and generously. And we're going to step the left foot back, pivoting the back foot to about 45 degrees. Coming into our warrior one feet. Noticing that all four corners of the front foot are planted in, and that back edge of that foot is planted in. On your next inhale, begin to lift the arms up, or reach the shoulders up, bringing the hands to heart center or reaching them above. Noticing that right hip crease as you draw it towards the back of the room, as you allow your knee to stack towards the front of the room, coming over the ankle. Feeling equal weight distribution in both feet here. Nice. And feeling the belly button again turned on, drawing it to your spine here. Not just letting your ribs flail out, but corseting them all in. I almost said crunching. That wouldn't be good. Don't crunch your ribs in. Staying here for the next breath. Maybe, just maybe, bringing the gaze all the way up towards the ceiling. Exhale, rain the hands down to either side of that front foot. Pivot that back toe. And we're going to just pop that back leg up, coming into standing splits. Dropping the head here. Noticing that we're not trying to get the foot up as far as possible. What we're trying to do is find stability in our foundation. So the standing knee is facing the front of the room. The hips are squared as that back foot is pointed down. Maybe reaching with the top of the thigh. Staying here for 3, 2, 1. Bringing that foot to meet the front foot, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. And exhale, fold. Bring the toes almost to touching, and on your next inhale, lift the arms up as you sink your hips back, coming into Utkatasana, chair pose. Finding some lightness in the toes here, the chest, the heart shining forward. And exhale, fold forward, heel toe the feet, hip width distance. Bringing the hands down to the top of the mat. Bending the knees generously here. We're going to set up for warrior one on the opposite side. Stepping that right foot back. Pivoting 45 degrees. Finding foundation in both the feet as you lift your shoulders over your hips. Bringing your hands to heart center or reaching up. Drawing that left hip crease back. Finding equal weight in both feet. Dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Tracking that front knee between the first and second toe. Staying here, reaching the arms up. Palms facing each other. Pinkies are spiraling from the front of the room to the back of the room. Finding that rotation in the arms. For the last breath, maybe just bringing the gaze up. And then exhale, bring the hands down, pivot in that back foot. And then pop up into your standing splits, adding a little balance here when we least expected it. Getting creative with ourselves and our body so that we don't get in any ruts. Breathing, noticing the sensations. Holding for 3, 2, 1. Bringing that front foot to meet. Bringing that back foot to meet the front, and then sinking the hips down, coming into Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, extended mountain pose. Bringing the hands to heart center here. We're going to come into a little equanimity and a little balance. So finding the foundation in our left foot, we're going to inhale, bring the right foot to figure four, crossing the right foot over the left knee. And then we're just going to gently find our balance, gripping into that big toe mound, finding that top foot nice and flexed. We're going to sink the hips down, coming into like an Uttanasana pose. Breathing here, adding on however feels good for you. Maybe bringing your knees down, your arms down to your knees. Maybe coming into a variation. And then keeping your foot off the ground on your next inhale, come into your standing leg raise. Lifting your knee or your leg out. Breathing. And then keeping that leg raised, come into your tree foot. Bringing the foot onto the thigh or the calf, never the knee. And then staying here or adding on, reaching the arms up. Using your drishti, your gaze here. Yes, nice. Feeling your bandha lock in the pelvic floor as you draw the belly button in towards the spine and the pelvis up towards the belly button. Breathing. And gently releasing out when you're ready. Shaking it off. Getting a little funky monkey. And then setting up for the opposite side. Finding your foundation in the right foot first. Centering yourself. Then coming into this figure four pose. Sinking the hips down, bringing the hands to heart center. Taking your variation here. Staying in your integrity to stay authentic to yourself. Each and every pose, just like each and every one of us, is going to look different. So just loving it. Keeping the foot lifted, coming into your standing leg raise. Lifting from the top of that thigh. Using your drishti, your tools that you have, your breath. And then gently coming into your tree. Keeping the hands at heart center or lifting them up. Again, like we did in Warrior One, pivoting the palms to face each other, and then bringing the pinkies towards the back of the room, the thumbs towards the outside of the room. Finding that rotation in the arms, finding the shoulders drop away from the ears. Gently release out when you're ready. And shake it out. Forward fold at the front of your mat. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, come into your high push up. Spreading out through the fingers, drawing the armpits up towards the sky, the belly button in towards the core. And slowly lower all the way down to the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Bringing both the hands out in front of you, stacking the palms on one another and resting the head here for just a moment. Recentering, reconnecting with the body and the breath. And gently making your way to tabletop, all fours. Nice. we're going to come into supported side plank on the right side. So bringing the right foot off the right side of the mat. Placing your weight in the right hand. Inhale, stack the shoulders, lift the left arm up towards the ceiling. Extend that left leg out long here. So staying here if this feels good. Maybe reaching the arm towards the front of the room. Maybe lifting a leg. Maybe coming into a bind. Doing what feels right for your body. For 3 more breaths. Saying hello to the wobbles. Saying hello to the strength. Saying hello to the softness in the face. Gently release out. Take a look over your right shoulder as you knock your hips to the left side. Take a look over your left shoulder as you knock your hips to the right side. Come back to center. Place your weight in the left palm. Swing your left foot off the left side of the mat. Inhale, find your supported side angle. Side plank, I'm sorry. Doing what feels good for you. Lifting a leg, finding a bind. Telling yourself you are strong. You are unique. You are beautiful and creative for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Setting that hand down, that knee down. And we're going to bring the feet so that they are on the toes in the back of the mat, almost touching but not quite. We're going to sink the hips back towards the heels as we reach the arms long. We're going to gently lift the knees up and let them spread out to either side as we come into this froggy variation, letting the head surrender to the earth here. Breathing. Noticing. Nice. Gently release out. And let's just come into a little Bakasana, a little crow pose, or a little crow pose practice. So grab a block if you have one or would like one, and bring the block into the middle of your mat. We're just going to gently step up onto the block as we bring our hands down to the mat and the knees wide, coming up onto the toes on the block. We're going to bring the hands out almost to the outside of the mat, or depending on your body, just a nice, wider than shoulder distance apart. Spreading out through the fingers here, we're going to keep our gaze to the front of the mat as we begin to lift our hips up. Coming into a little crow practice here, you can take full crow if that's in your wheelhouse. Otherwise, we're just going to bring our knees to the backs of our arms and just gently lift one foot up at a time. Pointing the toes, set it down. Bring it up the other side. Set it down. Nice. Roll the wrists a few times. Maybe remove the block. Maybe continue on with the block. But take about 5 more breaths to come into a little playfulness. Finding your crow, your tripod, your practice. Coming into Malasana, yogi squat when you release. Bringing the knees wide, bringing the hands to heart center, and using your elbows to really push away the knees here. Rubbing the chin to the chest. Maybe bringing a block under your bottom. And coming back into your breath. Nice work. Beautiful. We're gently going to lift the bottom up, come into our downward facing dog. We're moving that block to the side, pedaling out the feet as needed. Nice. And on your next inhale, reach that right leg up towards the sky, 3-legged dog. Gently begin to bring the heel towards the bum, stacking the hips, opening up, bringing the gaze under that right armpit. Nice. Inhale back, three-legged dog, set that leg down. We'll take it to the other side, bringing the feet into the center of the mat. Lift the left leg up, finding the top of the thigh, toes pointed down, and then stacking the hips, opening up here. Taking the gaze, the drishti underneath the arm. And then gently coming out to three-legged dog, setting that leg down. Nice. Rolling to the top of the mat to high push-up. Coming down into the knees if you need to. And then gently coming all the way down onto the ground. Bringing the hands alongside the hips. Palms face down here. Resting a cheek for just a moment. And then curling the toes under, coming up onto the chin, rooting into the pelvis here. On your next inhale, reach the arms, the chest, and the thighs up as you draw the shoulder blades together as if someone's pulling you up from the back of the room. Locust pose. Breathing here. Drawing those feet towards one another for 3, 2, 1. Gently coming down, resting the opposite cheek here. Knowing that all the bumps and lumps and scars and things that we call imperfections, which they're not, those and the experiences that we encounter, those are what make us. Those are what make us unique. Those are what make us who we are. So embracing them. Embracing them inside our bodies and our practice. Maybe it doesn't look how we always want it to look. And off the mat too. Setting up for a locust on the opposite side, bringing the palms facing down. The opposite side, we're taking it on the same side. On your next inhale, lift the chin and the chest up as you flex the feet down, lifting the thighs off the ground. Reaching the arms back for 3, 2, 1. Gently letting the hips go side to side a few times, resting the cheek or the forehead. Yeah. Beautiful. And then gently bringing the hands alongside the ribs, palms face down, curling the toes under here as you lift the thighs off the knees and tone the quads. Drawing the shoulder blades together on your next inhale from the pit of your belly, begin to lift up to high push-up, pushing back to downward facing dog. Nice. Inhale, reach that right leg up, three-legged dog. And then bring the knee all the way through, setting up for your half pigeon. Now, a lot of times we're told that half pigeon, the front shin should be parallel to the front of the mat. Personally, I don't think so. I think that I use my knees every day like everybody else, and I have a lot of knee injuries. So I like to keep my knee nice and closed so that it's open at the front of the knee. So coming to your block if you need one, bringing it underneath that thigh or your sit bones. But finding some length here before we fold. So having the crown of the head get nice and tall, and then gently folding forward. We're going to stay here for about 1.5 minutes so that our myofascia can open up. Allowing yourself to find a little softness here. A little softness and support here, as a lot is going on. We hold a lot of emotion in our hips, and sometimes it can be a little difficult to take. So just coming back to that breath, noticing the sensations and welcoming each and every one like friends into our house. Noticing and not labeling is good or bad. Maybe walking that extended leg out behind you a little bit more if you need something more. Maybe backing off a little if you need to. But then coming into that stillness. Thirty more seconds here. If you need to move, but then find your stillness again. Gently begin to bring your hands underneath your shoulders, extending your crown up towards the ceiling, stacking your shoulders over your pelvis. And then placing your palms onto the ground, curling that back toe under, lifting that leg up. And then finding your downward facing dog. Pedaling out the feet, doing what feels good. And then setting up for the opposite side, coming into three-legged dog. Bringing that knee forward. Finding your support where you need it. Stacking your shoulders over your hips here, finding the length. And then gently begin to walk forward, finding your fold. Coming back to that heart space and the chest, breathing in the love in and out for the version of yourself that you are right now. Being true to who you are. Being creative with who you are. At the end of the day, just trying to please just yourself. Again, if you could be the woman or person of your dreams, what would that look like? Halfway down on this side. Gently bringing the hands underneath the shoulders, curling that back foot under, lifting that left leg up, three-legged dog, setting the leg down, and walking the feet all the way forward to come onto your bum, bringing the knees into your chest, breathing in through the nose as you bring your forehead up to meet your knees, and out through your mouth, in through the nose, and out through the mouth. Taking what you need to set up for your corpse pose for Savasana. So maybe you dim some lights, maybe you put on some socks. But then allow yourself to come onto your mat. Nestle your shoulders underneath you as your palms spread up wide. Let your feet splay out side to side. And gently close your eyes here if that's in your practice. And come back to your five senses. What do you feel? The ground beneath you, the mat beneath you. What do you smell? The fresh laundry. What do you see? The darkness of your eyelids. What do you taste? Fresh apricot tea. Then gently allow yourself to melt into your mat. Gently begin to deepen your breath. Bringing small movement to your head, your fingers and your toes. Staying in Savasana for as long as you need. Or drawing one knee at a time into your chest. Finding fetal pose on your favorite side as you bring your top arm under your bottom arm underneath your head and your top arm on the ground. Grounding yourself one last time in this practice. Knowing that we have one obligation in life, and that is to be completely ourselves. Slowly using your top hand to push yourself up, coming into Sukhasana, easy seated, bringing the hands up to your third eye. Thank you so much for practicing with me today, for bringing your light and your energy and your uniqueness, for showing up for yourself. The light in me honors and salutes the divine light in each and every one of you. Be yourself because everyone else is taken.